Today I'm looking at printers within the network environment and having a look at printers that aren't being used. Traditionally I'd have to log into multiple web portals for specific printers to have a look at page counts and maybe some utilization data. But there's also those printers where I actually have to physically go to the printer, maybe print out a configuration report, or even actually have a look at a manual counter on the little LCD display on the physical printer. But today, using Enterprise Commander and Dossier for Enterprise Print, we're going to do all that and a little bit more. So by clicking on the print shortcut here in the main Enterprise Commander window, we're taken through to the dashboard for Dossier for Enterprise Print, and we're presented with real-time print information related to our environment. But what we actually want to do is actually have a look at printers that aren't being used. So by clicking on the summary icon for total unused printers, I'm presented with a list of printers that aren't being used. As you can see, you've got the name of the printer, the type of printer, whether it's a local printer or a network printer, its actual location, page count for the printer, job count, last user to use the printer, and also last printed time. So let's actually have a look at some of these printers and work out what's going on. As an example here, let's have a look at this Canon MP495 printer. As we can see, it's a local printer. So there it is, a black little desktop there. I can see the current location for the printer, how many other printers are at that location, or even the endpoint that is actually attached to. I can see the capabilities of the printer in terms of color, duplex and collate. It's got a rear tray, as well as printing A4 paper. There's historically no jobs for the last 30 days on this printer, and I can even have a look at where the printer is located if I physically need to go and have a look for this printer. But what we'll do is actually have a look at this printer and try and get in contact with the user who's using it. Maybe it's broken, no longer used, and maybe can be repurposed, repaired, or moved elsewhere in the business for utilization. So let's actually have a look at the endpoint that it's connected to. I can see here that the user for this endpoint here, Renee, I can actually have a look at the email address as well. So at the moment, I can already get in contact with the user who's directly using this printer, ask them about the printer, and get maybe get this printer moved elsewhere for use within the business, all with the click of a mouse. But let's go back and have a look at some of the other printers in that list there that aren't being used and see where they could be used elsewhere. Let's have a look at the HP OfficeJet. As we can see here, it's a network printer. I can find out what machines it's actually attached to. I can have a look at it's a color and collate machine, one tray and A4. Again, I've also got the map on where it's located. So with using one browser, Enterprise Commander and Dossier for Enterprise Print, we've been able to identify a total amount of unused printers on the network, actually have a look at the physical information about the printers, and even get in touch with the users directly from the browser. That's a little bit easier than going to all the multiple web portals and calculating numbers off the actual printer, and also looking at configuration reports as well. And again, it's a lot more intuitive.